Thank you for joining us this morning. We are recording this Valley Morning Insight. Want to make sure everybody knew that, but good morning and Happy New Year. I'm so glad you're all here with us this morning for our first official Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce event at Valley Morning Insight. Before I introduce our MC this morning, if some of you did not know, our very own Jenny Flores gave birth to a baby girl on New Year's Day. And I want to just let everyone know that Joy, Daniela, mom and dad are doing well. And we're very excited for Jenny and so happy for her. Okay, so for our first event of the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce, we decided to hold tryouts for the MC position. Unfortunately, nobody showed up, so we had to settle for today's MCs. Please help me welcome from the Victor Valley College Foundation. We have Christopher Nunez. Good morning, Chris.
Happy New Year, everyone! I'm Chris Nunez with the Victor Valley College Foundation, and if you can't tell, I'm incredibly excited to be with you all this morning. If I'm blasting out your speakers, if you have to move away from the screen because I'm too loud, I'm too excited, go ahead and do that, but start to soak it in. Start to get that excitement, start to get that energy, because we all need it. It's 2021. We've been waiting for this time to roll around, and it's finally here, you guys. 2020 was obviously a very difficult and trying year for all of us, but everybody should give themselves at least a little pat on the back for persevering, keeping a positive attitude, and making things happen. As we move into 2021, it's a great time to remind ourselves to connect as much as possible, to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success as much as possible, and making sure that we're setting ourselves, even in times like this, still stretch goals that we can work hard to achieve. I don't know if anybody out there is into New Year's resolutions or anything, but make sure you set yourself a goal. I'll tell you one of mine for this year is to finally crack this little nugget. I don't know if anybody out there has any tips or help that, that can get me there, but by the end of 2021, we're gonna get this bad boy solved. So to get things rolling, I'd like to go ahead and ask Pastor Rick Stonestreet from the Mountain View Baptist Church to lead us in an invocation. Good morning, Pastor Stonestreet.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. It's good to be with all of you, the chamber, and Mark, appreciate that. And Chris, boy, you sure have a lot of energy. That's great. So, well, let's pray and ask the Lord to guide our meeting and guide our year, actually. So, dear Heavenly Father, we do thank you today for just being able to gather here and to learn and to hear from one another. And Lord, to hear what you're doing in our community. We just pray for our community, Lord. We pray for our business leaders and those who, Lord, have been struggling. We pray, Lord, that you would provide and sustain them during these difficult days. We pray this year, this new year, would be a great year, a year of prosperity, a year of growth, a year of recovery, Lord, and that you would just strengthen us as we wait upon you, Lord. We pray for divine wisdom for our leaders. Thank you for our mayors and city council members and those who are making those decisions. And thank you for this chamber and for the leadership, Mark, and for this Greater High Desert as we gather today. We pray for your divine blessing in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much, Pastor Stonestreet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Now play ball. So for this morning, our very own president and CEO, Mark Wahlberg, will once again be handling the bell, but I think he mentioned he was going to do something a little bit different this year. He's been working on his opera voice, and every time he's got to get somebody off stage or stop them talking, he's going to break into a wonderful, beautiful opera overture. Right, Mark?
No, I have a bell, Chris. No, it will be a bell for sure, but thank you anyways.
I should say that's only slightly disappointing, but that's all right. All right. I'd like to go ahead and now introduce today's gift card giveaway sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President of UR Solar Plug, Mr. Gabriel Reyes. Good morning, Gabriel.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Perfect, Chris. I love your energy. I'm a firm believer that energy is most definitely transferable. And, keep it up. You're keeping everybody excited, everybody awake, and you're most definitely setting the proper tone for 2021, right? So with that being said, my name is Deborah Reyes, and me and a couple of my good business partners, we opened up a local solar renewable energy company. We focus on 3 different industries. We focus on the residential side, industrial and commercial. Industrial and commercial are just to be able to have, but we're really focusing on the residential side. There's some great news that the tax incentive was decreasing year over year, right? But it was great news is that it's actually been extended for the next 2 years to give you a 26% federal rebate. So instead of it going down to 22%, it's maintaining at 26%, which is great for 2 reasons. One, you get more of a rebate back from the government. So for going solar and going renewable energy. And then 2, it actually gives you a lower overall payment when it comes to the solar. Now, there's a bunch of different ways on how to do it. There's unnecessary liens. There's, PPAs, which in my opinion are horrible. What we do is we look to do just direct unsecured loan lending, right? Where you're going to finance and own and purchase the solar panels so that it's an overall cost savings to you and your family. Getting yourself off of the grid. Edison the rates have increased 4% year over year. And this is a big reason why I wanted to get involved, right? I wanted to get involved so that we can most definitely help families and help businesses in this time of need lower outgoing expenditures. So if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Mark has all of my information. Thank you, Greater High Desert. I'm super excited to be a member of the chamber, super excited to be helping the Victor Valley in our region and grow with ethical and amazing businesses that we have here in the region. This was one of the first decisions that me and my partners made was we need to be a part of the chamber. Why? Because the Greater High Desert Chamber most definitely is the best chamber in not just in Southern California, but in my opinion, the state, right? And then the nation. So shout out to the amazing leadership. Shout out to the amazing members that make this the best chamber.
Wonderful. And Gabriel, how are you planning on giving away your gift cards today? How do you want to handle this today?
Let's see. I know that we were asked for the to share with in regards to the movie. So let's say the first 10 people who want to speak on how the movie Invincible impacted their lives. Let's see who's willing to step outside of their comfort zone and do something different.
Okay. How about this, Gabriel? The first 10 people that email me that, I'll send those over to you and you can pick the winners. Perfect.
Let's do that. Let's do something different. Let's do something different. Let's step outside of obscurity. Let's step outside of our comfort zone, and let's show how this movie impacted our lives.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, Gabriel from You Are Solar. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so be sure to email Mark Crepfield. I'm sure many of you have seen the Disney movie Invincible. Of course, that's the subject of our main speaker today. So if you've seen the movie Invincible, please go ahead and shoot an email over to Mark Crepfield sharing how much you enjoyed the movie and what you got out of that movie personally. And then, of course, a gift card winner will be selected from that lot. All right. This obviously is very historic. This is the very first VMI for the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. We know that this has taken a lot of work and a lot of time in order to get us here to this point. And of course, going on, all of our individual chambers, and then now the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce can never have survived without all of the support from our wonderful sponsors. So at this point, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank 2 of our presenting sponsors for today's very first Valley Morning Insight. Thank you so much to Desert Valley Hospital, Desert Valley Medical Group, and to Pacific Refrigerator Company, again, for being our presenting sponsors for today. I'd like to go ahead and now introduce from our first presenting sponsor, Desert Valley Hospital, Desert Valley Medical Group. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Marie Langley. Hi, Marie.
Hi, good morning, Chris and everybody. It's a blessing to be here with you, and it's exciting that I was able to kind of send you off from 2020 and now be here with you in 2021. So just quickly, Fred Hunter, our CEO, asked me to give you an update as far as COVID, how it's impacting our hospital as well as the community. Unfortunately, our situation has not changed. Just to give you some stats like I did last month, We are a 148-bed facility, and our average occupancy or daily census, as we call it, is running at about 165, 170. So similar to the other hospitals, we're running above capacity. We're doing an excellent job managing it. We have excellent physicians, staff, and leadership who have made this possible. As far as our impact from COVID, every day we average about 112, 115 patients who are admitted with COVID. And again, as I stated last month, these are patients who need to be here, who are on oxygen, who require other interventions, and unfortunately are not stable enough to go home. As far as what we're doing, we're trying to really encourage people to seek outpatient treatment. I mentioned last month that we have the drug bamlanivimab, which we're doing outpatient infusions. I'm going to go ahead and submit my contact information in the chat. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. This is an outpatient infusion. It takes about 3 hours. The first hour is mostly the prep, preparing the drug. The second hour is the infusion, and the third hour is observation. We've, at this point, administered probably close to 40, if not 50, infusions, and they're calling this a miracle drug, and people often ask me why people don't know we have it. But if you are high risk, typically that's age 65 and above, or if you're age 55 and above and have other comorbidities such as diabetes or kidney disease, any of those factors that can contribute to you being considered high risk, this is a great opportunity for you. Also, this past week, we opened our urgent care up for COVID testing outpatient. Previously, that was kind of restricted to those who had a referral from a physician. But if you do show up in our urgent care and you would like to be tested for COVID, whether or not you're symptomatic, we are now offering that. So if you need to be seen by a provider, that is an option. If you just want the COVID test and we can bill your insurance, we will. If not, we are offering cash prices, and the cash price is $100 for the COVID test. So again, that is something new. We want to prevent people from going to the emergency room unless you absolutely need to, of course. But we do want to make sure that our community has the resources that they need to fight the virus. And then also, as far as employers, this is something that we're working on to make sure that if you need to have your employees tested or retested to return to work, this is something that we're offering as well. As of right now, they can go to the urgent care, but I would encourage your employee, as an employer, to reach out to me directly. Again, my contact information is in the chat. This way we can get you set up and offer COVID testing to your employees. That's it from us. I mean, we're doing everything we can to support the community. We are very fortunate that we have great resources and a great team. And just to speak to our leadership, Fred Hunter, our doctors, our staff, they're all doing an amazing job. And I'm very grateful to be part of the team.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Marie. Thank you really to you and the entire Desert Valley Hospital, Desert Valley Medical Group, of course, for protecting us and representing us on the front lines. We hope that you all are doing well and hope that the vaccines are coming through and you're all getting them and ready to help get us all back on track for 2021.
Yes, thank you, Chris. And I do want to add that we did start doing the vaccines a few weeks back, so that is in process, and we hope to be able to offer it to our members soon. So stand by for more information.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Desert Valley Hospital, Desert Valley Medical Group, for being our presenting sponsor for today. And now I'd like to introduce our second presenting sponsor, representing Pacific Refrigerator. Please welcome Mr. Aaron Korn. Hey, good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Aaron Korn. I'm the general manager here at Pacific Refrigerator Company. Want to thank everyone for participating in this first VMI of 2021. I also personally want to thank Mark Creffield for all his hard work and preparation, not only for this morning's meeting, but as one of the board members, I can tell you he spent countless hours helping make our new unified Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce a reality. So again, I want to thank Mark along with all the other board members that have been working over the past year to bring GHDCC to fruition. So I'll move on, as I'm sure everyone's excited as I am to hear Vince Papale speak this morning. So a little bit about Pacific Refrigerator. Really is an incredible organization to be a part of. It's family owned and operated. We've been headquartered here in the high desert since 2005 and employ about 30 people at our shop in Apple Valley. Pacific was blessed with in 2020 with a record-setting year, completing several of the largest jobs ever that we've ever done in what the industry calls the non-commercial food services. So those are things like hospital food services, schools, commissaries, things like that. So the images you see next in the next image are for a major technology company up in Cupertino. Some thought they were a fruit company, but I hear they make some smartphones and gadgets as well. So anyway, walk-in cold storage rooms are not something the general public really concerns themselves with on a regular basis. However, if you've eaten food today, it's very likely you've reaped the benefits of cold storage. So Pacific Refrigerator has built thousands of these units over the 75 years we've been in business. Our coolers are in grocery stores, food warehouses, restaurants, and hotels from coast to coast, including every resort on the Vegas Strip. So Pacific manufactures custom walk-in coolers and freezers all the way from as small as 25 square feet up to 25,000 square feet and bigger. We provide parts via our online store, and we offer repair services not only to the high desert, but to much of Southern California and Southern Nevada also. I've only been a part of this Pacific family for about 7 months. The primary duty I was tasked with when I was hired was diversification. Like many companies now, especially with us being in the cold storage, closely related with the restaurant industry, we all know how that's going in times of COVID. So we've started developing some new products. This first one that you see is a mobile cold storage. It's trailerable. It's permanently mounted on the trailer. This one has been used for nonprofits for food distribution, also by restaurants that are doing renovation and they need temporary storage. They're also intended for use during special events, for disaster recovery efforts. They can be powered by a standard generator. So you basically have a large walk-in cooler pretty much anywhere you need it. Unfortunately, in these times too, we've found ourselves with an increased demand from mortuaries and morgues, not only for temporary storage, but also with expansion and renovation projects for them. But this is the project I'm most excited about, and the one I was really spearheading here is our foray into what are called ADUs, auxiliary dwelling units. If you haven't heard about them, they're backyard homes. California has some regulations now that allow these to be built in your backyard to help ease our housing crisis. As I'm sure many people know, tiny homes are booming right now. With our insulated panels, the same panels we use in walk-in coolers, we can produce a structure that's stronger and more energy efficient than a lot of the temporary structures that are being produced for like homeless shelter and things like that. A lot of those are made of corrugated plastic, aluminum tube. They're basically not as energy efficient and as permanent as what we're trying to create. In our panels, in the panels you see in the building on the screen now, those are R value, if you're familiar with insulation, of R32. Your house only has R13 in the walls typically. So these are very energy efficient. We can palletize these, our structures. They can be shipped on a pallet on a truck. We can put multiple units on a truck, and they can be assembled with our Camlock system by 2 people in about an hour. So if you think IKEA, but instead of bookshelves, you're building a house. And what you see in the image is current proof of concept. So obviously it looks a little rough. We're still working on that. That's how it looked as of about 2 days ago. It's actually been trimmed out a little more now and almost ready to go. But we have 2 other new prototypes coming off our assembly line within the next 2 weeks. One's an 8x8 kiosk type unit, similar to the picture you see. And then the other is which this we think would be an ideal shelter for homeless, has heating, air conditioning, lights, power, And next on our production schedule is a 12 by 12 structure, which we think would be more appropriate as a backyard home or an off-grid cabin, or even as a larger shelter that could house transients. It could be used for multiple individuals or for transitional housing, things like that. And in a larger facility, what we kind of envision is a large facility with many of these on property, with communal showers, restrooms, kitchens, and things like that. So anyway, those are ADUs that we're working on. So if anyone has any questions or comments or recommendations or anything, feel welcome to call me. I think a number, I don't know if it's on the screen, but you can find us on social media. And I just want to thank you all for your time and for joining us today.
Wonderful. Aaron, thank you so much. Thank you again to Desert Valley Hospital, Desert Valley Medical Group, and Pacific Refrigerators for being our sponsors for today's Valley Morning Insight. On a side note, I have to go off on a tangent real quick and just say I love learning about businesses that I did not know existed in the high desert, particularly when they are transitioning, diversifying, and doing something new in order to meet the community and their customers' needs. So very cool. Great to have you on board, Aaron. Thank you. Moving on. Again, as the newly formed Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce, or the GHDCC, we were very excited to welcome brief updates from all of our local towns, including the city of Adelanto, Hesperia, Victorville, and the town of Apple Valley. We have very special with us all 4 cities' mayors today, who are just going to share in a brief 1 minute the headlines of what's going on in their neck of the woods. So to kick us off with a 1 minute recap of headlines going on in the city of Adelanto, please welcome back Mr. Mayor Gabriel Reyes.
Thank you so much, Chris. So briefly with the city of Adelanto, in 2021, the primary focus is capital improvements and economic development. With the city being identified as an opportunity zone, we've been going after a lot of businesses from down the hill and other states and trying to bring them over here to Adelanto. We're going to be breaking ground, hopefully soon here, crossing the fingers, on the Lewis Group project. Be breaking ground with Value Windows Door Manufacturing and 2 more traditional manufacturing jobs. We were able to bring in Copart, who has over 100 acres of land here in the city, and the Boring Company is expanding, growing, doing wonderful things. So economic development, capital improvements, and housing is the primary focus on what we're going to focus on in the city of Adelanto for 2021.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, Mayor Reyes. And now, sharing the headlines from the town of Apple Valley, let's go ahead and welcome Mayor Kurt Emick. Good morning, Kurt.
Thank you, everybody, and Happy New Year, Chamber members. As a small business owner myself, I understand the challenges facing business community and look forward to working with you and your newly formed Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce in 2021. I'm cautiously optimistic that we will have a great year and we'll be working together to rebound and rebuild. There is still much work to do, but I know we can accomplish big things together. I want to offer the town's support in helping our businesses succeed. One way we want to continue to support our small businesses here in Apple Valley is to feature them on our Shop Local Apple Valley Facebook page. With nearly 7,500 followers, it's a great way to showcase your story and your business. Please contact our business department and communication office to be featured at no cost. The town is also preparing to launch a CARES-funded small business grant to assist with rent relief, overhead expenses, utilities, and more. We'll share more information soon. This year, we have several new businesses opening in Apple Valley, including Towns and Stillhouse and Grill in the Village, and several new fuel stations will open this year around town, as will America's Best Contacts and Eyeglass, as well as T-Mobile at Jess Ranch Marketplace, and the gym at Rancherias Plaza. We will finally see the reuse of our former Lowe's building on Dale Evans Parkway by the new Apple Valley RV and boat storage. I know we're already receiving many calls on that one. And of course, I'm sure you've all heard about the coming Bright Line West project that will include a train station and maintenance facility at Dale Evans Parkway and I-15. For more information on that project, visit www.av.town/train. This year, we'll be busy working on the Apple Valley Road, a Highway 18 realignment project expected to be completed at year's end. And finally, we expect the town's trial to acquire the Liberty Utilities water system to conclude in 2021. Closing arguments are set for next month, and we'll share more information in the coming weeks on an important community matter. That's all for now. As always, you can follow us online at applevalley.org or Facebook for up-to-minute news, and feel free always to call the town at 760-240-7000. And again, Happy New Year, everyone.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mayor Emick.
Thank you.
Please welcome Mayor Cameron Gregg, representing the city of Hesperia. Good morning. Good morning, Cameron.
There we go. Good morning, everyone. My name is Cameron Gregg, Mayor of the city of Hesperia, and I'm happy to report that the city has approved CARES Act funding for small businesses throughout our city. So we're definitely eagerly waiting for small businesses to take advantage of that. Additionally, we have some really great projects in the works. We have Raising Cane's, so we're happy to welcome them to our great city, along with a huge industrial complex over off of 395 there. So we're definitely excited as we move forward into 2021 and put 2020 behind us. And if anybody has any questions, please reach out to the city of Hesperia regarding any of that small business grants that we have issued out. And other than that, I appreciate your guys' time and look forward to continued business with you and joining the chamber and making great things happen within our city and our high desert area. So thank you. And from the city council, Happy New Year.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mayor Gregg. And last but certainly not least, please go ahead and welcome Mayor Deborah Jones, representing the city of Hesperia. Hi, Deborah.
Well, hello and good morning. I'd like to begin by wishing all of you a very happy new year from the city of Victorville and our city council. May you enjoy peace, prosperity, and good health in 2021. Last month, I was appointed mayor of Victorville by my fellow city council members, and I'm extremely honored to serve the community I love in this new role. So, taking our cue from the inimitable Chris Nunez himself, the new year fills us with hope and optimism. It's a time for us to celebrate new beginnings, like the tremendous opportunity offered by the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations to everyone involved in this effort to bring our chambers together with a unified voice for the entire high desert. All of us at the City of Victorville look forward to working with the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce for the benefit of our local businesses and our regional economy. We are stronger when we work together. Now, you might ask why I haven't updated you on the current news in Victorville. Well, during our next VMI on February 3rd, I'll join my fellow council members in presenting our Victorville State of the City. We are grateful for this opportunity to showcase the many great happenings in Victorville, and we hope you'll join us. So stay tuned for that, and thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mayor Jones. And thank you again for the updates from all of our cities. We're very grateful to have that as part of the GHDCC lineup this morning. And now I'd like to go ahead and welcome to the call Miss Ruby Clark, the Chamber's Director of Member Services, to announce the Chamber's newest members. Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Chris. Thank you. Hello, members. We're excited to launch the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. We're ready to take on any challenges in 2021, supporting our members along the way. But we look forward to a new beginning and a new year. Our first new member of 2021 with the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce is High Desert Creditor Service. Thank you, Chris. Thank you to all of our members for supporting us along the way. We truly appreciate you.
Fantastic. Way to go, Ruby. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for sound offs. A sound off is an opportunity for a chamber member to pay for the opportunity to speak for 1 minute during this event to all of you. The cost for that is $20. We have 2 sound offs for this morning. Each sound off chamber member who's paid for 1 minute of sound off. When I call your name, you When I call your name and business, please unmute your microphone and you'll have 1 minute to present. This morning, let's go ahead and kick things off with Dr. Khanisha Williams with Transform Nation Training and Development, LLC, as our sound off. Good morning, Dr. Williams.
Good morning, family. Again, I'm Khanisha. Happy 2021. Excellent. Excited to see you guys. Listen, what do? I am a leadership guru. I love leadership. Call me Dr. Leadership. So here's what I'm willing to offer. I have joined with Dr. John Maxwell. He is the leadership guru in the entire land. He is not working just with companies and organizations. He's working with countries. So I have the opportunity to be an executive director. I am going to be launching transformation tables. They are free transformation tables. I can hold up to 8 leaders who are serious about change. Our wonderful host, Chris here, I heard him say, what are we going to do different this year? What is going to be our goal? If you're interested, I'm going to drop my name in the box. We're going to do it. It's for 6 weeks, 1 hour a week, completely free. We're going to get around the virtual table and talk about how we can change ourselves so we can change this community. Thank you so much. Hopefully the first 8 people to email me, you're in.
All right, Dr. Khanisha Williams leading the way. Thank you so much. And for our next sound off, please welcome Miss Andrea Tober with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Good morning, Andrea.
Good morning. Happy New Year to everyone. New faces, familiar faces. I'm looking forward to meeting with everybody very soon. My name's Andrea Tober. I'm with Mary Kay Cosmetics, been with it for 1,000,000 years and absolutely love it. And I found out yesterday about a new product that we actually have that the company has developed. It's called the Mary Kay Clinical Solutions Retinol 0.5 Set. It introduces a new level of dermocosmetic performance to complement your nighttime skincare routine. The set includes retinol 0.5 serum and Calm Plus Restore facial milk. These products are designed to help to be used together as part of the 8-week retinization process developed by Mary Kay. Now, one of the things I've learned about my company is that we're not necessarily the first company to have a new product on the market with groundbreaking ingredients. We wait a little bit, we refine, we make sure that what we put out there is state of the art and delivers the results that it promises. And that's what's happening with this. Retinol has been around for a while, but the difference between retinol that's been out in one of our other products for a few years and the retinol in this set is it is called pure retinol. I'm going to be documenting this on my Facebook page in an 8-week program that it says it takes from start to when you really begin to see or when you see remarkable results. And so if you've been following that and you're not friended with me on my Mary Kay Facebook page,
Ring, Andrea, sorry, you went 1.5 minutes. Wrap up, sorry. I was ringing the bell. I guess the bell's not working.
I didn't see it. My information's in the chat box. Thanks, everybody.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you so much, Dr. Williams. Gosh, see, you should have broken into opera right there. It would have been a perfect segue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. It's the time you've been waiting for. It's time for today's main presentation. I don't know about you all. Mark asked me how I was doing first thing this morning, and I told him that, to be honest, I was a little tired. And I'm a little tired, I don't know if you can tell, because I stayed up last night to rewatch Invincible, because I love that movie. It's inspiring. It's a great flick. And I'm super excited for today's special presentation. So it's now time to introduce the man who will be doing the introduction. I'd like to go into introduce Mr. John J.B. Boudeghan, who is the CEO of Peak Seminars and Peak Performance Groups, the premier learning and development organization. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a good morning to Mr. J.B.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I think we're hot. Everybody's got me on there. We got the spotlight going okay, Christopher?
We're good to go.
All right, we're hot. Well, it's great to be with you. I'm on the shores of South Carolina right now, and I am fired up. I love the Greater Highland. Oh my gosh, this is the best of the best out there. I've done some phenomenal meetings over the years in your area, and it's exciting to be with everybody. Now, Vince's story, I can tell you, he was a groundbreaker, but truthfully, Vince Papale Nobody's ever done it again like this, and possibly never will, into the elite of people inside the National Football League. You guys have seen the story to some degree, but I got to tell you, imagine you're 30 years old, no experience whatsoever at that type of an environment, getting a 1,000-page playbook to get down, getting beat like getting in a major car wreck every minute, and continuing that dream and that journey. And that's what Vince Papale did. And I tell you, what's exciting is he made the all Eagles team 75 years in their history in the special teams department. No kicker, no other person ever beat him out for that. And along the way, he made it happen in the community. He made it happen every which way as hope and inspiration. And of course, when Mark Wahlberg got involved in the movie and all that, that's all the silver screen. Yes, he was a phenomenal broadcaster after his playing days, and all those things are absolutely invincible in every way. But what makes Vince even better than all that is the person he is. Listen closely. Can you imagine the demands when the hopes of the entire city have anointed you as their hope, and all the demands, and 80,000 people and millions on TV watching your every move? But he didn't stop there. You know, he was named a Man of the Year, which is now the Walter Payton Award for the Philadelphia Eagles during his playing time, which means he gave more to the community. I mean, it was incredible. He went up there to Chicago for the award ceremony with Roger Staubach, with Archie Manning, all these incredible people that also are givers. And that's really the ultimate spirit. There's not a day that goes by when Vince and I are talking about another functions he's helping with, whether it be a cause for a fallen officer, whether it be a cause for a cancer survivor, as he'll share with you his intricate story, an intimate story, to all kinds of people from every walks of life. Even when he was struggling to make the team himself, a young man came from states away for hope and inspiration that was battling a tough disease. And that's probably one of hundreds of times. But that's the kind of person he is. And he's transformed that through his whole family. They all believe in that whole give philosophy. And it's all about how you help others attain their goals and dreams. And his message, listen closely, new ears today, everyone. The reason why Mr. Creffield and the entire board decided this would be a great thing is absolutely apropos. The message, the relevancy of perseverance, overcoming odds, making it through, the never quit attitude, the complete excitement, the passion is what we all need. And yeah, he's been a speaker on big stages all over. People have been clamoring for him for a decade plus and throughout all these years. But this is a unique thing. He was really excited about being able to help you guys out here at Greater, to really help you guys go through anything and everything and make this a phenomenal year and beyond. So with that being said, let's unmute. I don't know how you want to do that, Mr. Creffield, but hey, unmute everybody, or at least do a big wave or hit your emojis or whatever you want, but unmute and give a great, huge, awesome Greater High Desert welcome to Mr. Vince Papale. Come on, everybody, get excited. Emotion creates emotion. Come on, Vince.
You're getting me all freaked out here, JB. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you so much, Mark and Chris. You are doing a great job. It's a little bit different, isn't it, Christopher, when you're just speaking into your computer instead of being out in front of a couple of hundred people. This Zoom thing sometimes it's like zooming my brain a little bit, but this is so great. And I appreciate you, JB. Thank you very much, and be teaming up with you, and also the team up with the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. And Mark, I appreciate you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. And you know, I did a little research as I was coming into this, because that's one of the things, the way you want to be a winner in anything you do, you have to understand, not your opponent, but you understand what you're going up against, whatever challenge you have. Not that this is a challenge, because I give a lot of speeches, but I really like getting into groups like this, because with the Chamber of Commerce, I belong to the chambers in suburban Philadelphia, where I grew up and lived. Right now, I'm broadcasting from, if you took a line through the United States from where you are and just go diagonal all the way down to the East Coast on the right-hand side and right above Miami, I'm in Jupiter, Florida, the home a lot of professional, great golfers down in this area. So I'm here, and my family is half here with me and half up in the Philly area. But I'm real excited about talking to you out there on the left coast. So we'll let this roll. JB, are you going to drive the PowerPoint? Oh, there it is. We got it. And this is basically what you're about. You know, some of the research I did, I took a look. If you haven't had an opportunity, go to the Facebook page of the High Desert Chamber, and you'll see a really, really wonderful YouTube, 2-minute YouTube. But it talks about what you're all about, you know, being an influencer and the networking that you're doing and why you're together as a team. But, you know, it really is all about the impact that you can make on so many people, impacts not only on yourself, but in the communities. And it was really great to sit here and listen to the mayors of your towns. You reminded me of the mayors of the small town I grew up in suburban Philadelphia with 5,000 people growing up on a little housing project that was built during World War II. So, and one of the things that I had heard is that, you know, you've got to make this adjustment because of all the things going on, God bless, because of the COVID. And I say, you know what, you just have to win the day. It's win the day. And coming together, and then that's how you become invincible, because you'll keep that momentum going. But the way I look at it is, you huddle up, and here you are. Just imagine this is your chamber, and you're huddling up and making a difference today with tomorrow in mind. And as an influencer, and I've heard this said so many times, that together you are stronger. It's all about unification. And then we can go to the next slide if you'd like to, JB. And it's also about having that dream. You know, that's what Invincible is. Invincible is nothing more than having that dream, the impossible dream, and making the impossible possible. Or when somebody's telling you it can't be done, well, guess what? You know, it's done so many times, but there's a formula for that success. There's a formula for making the impossible possible. And that basically is surrounding yourself with a great team like you are, and to believing in yourself, believing in perhaps your cause, and basically being invincible. And then what happens is the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. And let me tell you what, it got pretty interesting about 15 years ago, right around Labor Day, when the movie Invincible came out. I don't know if anybody has seen the movie. I had to tell you, it's one of my all-time favorites. I've had the opportunity to travel around the world, meet the most wonderful people, and like you and what you're doing, it's great for me to be an influencer. JB had sort of touched on the cancer thing. I'm a cancer survivor for 20 years. This has given me a tremendous platform to get out and talk about screening and what we're doing there, like pre-COVID testing, we're to do the same thing for cancer, you know, and all Invincible is about. And there's my kids as we were signing the contract for Disney, which was pretty cool to become a Disney character. All Invincible is about it. It's all about the dream. It's about an impossible dream that I talked about. And it's about when that dream comes true. And basically that's when you become invincible. When you have that happen to you, you have your invincible moment. Your invincible moment could be when you started your business, and maybe you're an entrepreneur, you teamed up with one of the companies that you're with right now, or you were appointed or elected mayor. You know, that's your invincible moment, and that's your time. And that's the time to celebrate. And so it's been 15 years. It's been a heck of a ride. I've met some wonderful people, and hopefully I've been able to help some other people achieve their dreams and have goals come true. And I always say, you know, live your dream, and your dreams can't come true unless you have these people behind you or beside you that are going to be your mentors. They're your coaches. They could be your teachers, your friends, spouses. It could be your parents, whomever it might be. But who is that one person or persons in your life that had that tremendous impact on you? You know, for me, I was growing up, when I was growing up in this little housing project, my mother was a great athlete. My mom and dad, first generation immigrants, never got beyond the 8th grade, both families of 9. And one was Protestant, the other was Catholic. There was conflict going on there when that was happening. And my mom, unfortunately, broke down, and I saw her being taken out of our house in a straitjacket with her first of 2 nervous breakdowns. And she's gone through electric shock therapy, and she went through all kinds of different therapies. Nothing worked. And this is all happening when I'm going through puberty. I'm 12, 13 years old. Everybody's telling me, hey, your mom's a nut. You know, I'm getting all this stuff thrown at me. And who comes into my life but my school teacher and my coach? And that guy right there, he's that one. If it wasn't for him, you know, my dad and my mom, you put them on Rushmore, they're Mount Rushmores. But if it wasn't for that guy right there, my coach, George Corner, I wouldn't be talking to you today. They wouldn't be calling me a legend. They wouldn't be calling me invincible. And so when I'm trying out for the team and everybody's busting me pretty hard, he's the guy that gives me this quote, and it simply says, happy are those who dream. And don't go there yet, JB. Happy are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to make their dreams come true. And I wanted to be a Philadelphia Eagle in the first way. I wanted to play in the worst way. I wanted to play college football, but they told me I was too small because that picture, I was about 5'6", 155, 160 pounds. So I became a pole vaulter. And I wound up going to St. Joe's College in suburban Philadelphia with a pole vault scholarship. And while that's all going on, there's this beautiful young lady that happened to be on the USA World and Olympic gymnastics team. Her name is Janet Cantwell. And that lady that you see in the bottom right over the "your," that is my wife of 27 years, Janet, who's portrayed in the movie as a Giants fan. You'll hear more about that in just a second. So we'll go to the next slide and we'll take a look at that quote that was given to you after we take a look at Janet again on the balance beam at the Olympic trials. And I mean, it's just, I like that picture so much. And you know what it's about? It's about poise, and it's about power, and it's about work and all the energy it took to get to that particular level. And you don't have to be an Olympic athlete. You don't have to be a pro athlete. What you have to be is you have to be the best at what you can be. Don't worry about anybody else. Be the best you can be. And when you do that, that makes you invincible. And you win the day, you become invincible. So let's take a look at that quote again. It was given to me by my coach, and I hope you like it. And it's very simple. Happy are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to make their dreams come true. So what are your dreams? You know, do you have the dreams for you? Is it for your family? Is it for your business? Hey, how about the dream that you had to do what you're doing right now? I guarantee you that almost 90 to 100% of you didn't start where you are right now, that you've gone through a whole series of different events to get to where you got in terms of your business environment and the kinds of things that you've done out there from your high school days, maybe through college, whatever it might be. But the reason you're where you are right now is because you had that willingness to pay the price. And if you don't, and if you're not willing to do that and to suffer a little setback, and I call it the cost of goods sold, if you're not willing to suffer those kinds of things, those dreams will not come true. So let's go to the next slide here and see what we got. I'm getting the, something's coming up here. I have to get rid of this on my computer. There we go. All right, we go to the next slide. Thank you very much, JB. And
yeah, you want to
we'll
make you want to put your video hot. For some reason, it kicked off.
What video?
Just on the toolbar there, the video itself for start video.
Oh, okay, start video. Oh, I just kicked myself off. Was that what that was? I couldn't see it. All right, here we go.
And while we're at it, everybody, I apologize, Vince, but somehow the last name got thrown in a couple extra vowels or consonants. It's
hey, JB, I don't care what you call me. Just call me. I like to sort of, hey, Vince Papale. So that's okay. No problem. Happy are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to make their dreams come true. And here's some of the price that I had to pay. And I know you had to pay too in doing what you did, aside from getting a concussion right there and having that little ice bag on your nose. That's how we treated it back then when you said, we didn't call it concussions. We called it getting a ding. And I know anybody that's played the sport knows that. You know, there was a lot of intimidation going on out there, as JB had said, but you know what? You give it back a little bit yourself. So I wasn't always the hittee. I was the hitter sometimes. But a lot of that intimidation wasn't just the physical kind of stuff. It was the mental, the intellectual, you know, and those that were, they were the entitled because they were the draft picks. And I was coming in as this lowly tryout guy that tried out when there were 300 guys. You know, nobody knew me, but I'll guarantee you, by the end of that training camp, everybody knew my name, and they knew to watch out. When 83 was in the neighborhood, they stepped aside, and it was as simple as that. So it came from becoming intimidated to becoming the intimidator, and that's all part of that invincible dream. They said you can't do it, Vince, because you're too this or you're too that. You don't have the right skills. You didn't play college football. You know, you don't have on your resume that you played college football. You're 30 years old. You didn't play, you know, and it's never been done before. Oh, it's too risky, Vince. Why would you want to go ahead and do that? Well, listen, I was teaching at my alma mater for 6 years, head track coach, assistant football coach, working my master's. I was given a leave of absence from my school. They said, get this football crap out of your mind. When you're done, come on back. and you've got your teaching job back. Too risky. There was no risk whatsoever. And I wasn't the kind of guy, if you're a pole vaulter and you're dropping from 15, 16 feet in sawdust back in the day when I was doing it, I didn't worry too much about injury. So there's a couple, three things why there's the dream killers out there, and those and the doubters, you know, and those that don't want you to be successful. And one is resentment, and that resentment is fueled by insecurity, and that insecurity is without a doubt fueled by jealousy. So that's what it's all about, you know. And but in the end, what you do is you get the last laugh, you know, and there it is. And that's my book. This is my third book. It's called The Last Laugh. And if you're interested, you can find it on Amazon.com. The Last Laugh from Vision to Victory. And it basically is not my story, but a lot of people's stories that shows what we call the Victor's Code, that tells you how to get from vision to victory. And if you can't visualize what you're going to do, you'll never be victorious. So here you are now, and you're doing what you're doing, and a lot of changes are going on. You've had to make all kinds of adjustments. You know, you're working in a chamber. Normally, you'd be right there, be a great luncheon or a breakfast meeting you'd be having, and everybody is either in their home. Most of you are in your home or home offices or whatever. You know, what in the world drives you and what motivates you? Well, for me, you're seeing it right there. That's my family back in 2002. And that's when that's when right before I was going in for my colon cancer surgery. And by the way, I'm okay. And that's my daughter, Gabrielle, and my son, Vinny. And I call that picture the last picture because my wife wanted to have a family shot just in case. You know, that was the just in case picture. So I call it the last picture. And we're dreamers in our family. And we always say that the only way that you can have that dream come true, you have to get into the game. And I have a couple gamers as family members. First of all, my daughter, Gabriella, she's right in the other room right there. My daughter, Gabby, you see her, she got a headset on. She works for the Philadelphia 76ers, and she is working cyber down here in Jupiter because she can't go to the offices. And she's the stage manager for all the entertainment and everything that goes on the court other than the basketball game itself. So that's Gabby. She's a Syracuse grad, and she's a big sister. She's a big, and she's very, very involved in the community. So that's my daughter, Gabby. That's my New Year's Eve baby. She just celebrated her birthday. I say they always have a mummers parade in her honor in Philadelphia. So, and that's my son, Vinny. And Vinny's he's a University of Delaware grad and quite an athlete. He signed with the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL. And that's a touchdown catch he just had in the spring league. That was the NFL shut everybody down from coming in from the outside. So they had this little thing at San Antonio last month, and that's my son, Vinny. And obviously his goal and dream is to be like his old man and to get into the NFL. We'll see. Don't count him out. So keep an eye on Vinny Papale. So, you know, what drives you? What motivates you? Is it your family? We're not just talking about your nuclear family. How about your business family? How about your friends and all those that you bring into your life? You know, they could be the motivators. Obviously, you're motivated because you care about people. You're part of the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce because you care and you want to be part of that team, unified. You want to help. You want to be an influencer. And then the other things that you have there that you have to worry about and you're looking for, you know, you love challenge. Of course you do, especially if you're an entrepreneur. A competition, aside from the competition, obviously, that you have every day from your competitors out there, the competition that we have right now with the federal government, with the state government, with local governments, with everything that's going on with the COVID. I mean, there's that whole new sphere and that whole new competitor that came into our game that we weren't really ready for. And then now, you know, we've been almost there for a year, and now you can start putting a really solid game plan together. And, you know, if pride doesn't motivate you, I don't know what does, but I'm sure one of those 4 or 5 things is a tremendous motivator for you. For me, it's all about those 4 people right there in the middle, not me, those 3 aside from me, and that's my family, and that's what it's all about. And I always say it takes teamwork to make the dream work, and that's what you're about. You're an invincible team, you know, the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce, and coming together. This is a tremendous, tremendous thing that you're doing to unify again. You know, that thing that I heard so many times from all the presenters this morning, it's, you know, that together you are stronger, and it's very simple, and it's all about this unification. And you see those Navy SEALs, just real quick, this is one of the oars, and which oar are you in the chamber? Which oar are you in your company, and making sure that you're rowing that boat as fervently as your teammate next to you? So How do you become a greater high desert Chamber of Commerce Invincible team? Well, here's a few things I'd like to throw at you. You have to have great leadership like you have in Mark. You've got to be passionate about what you do and passionate about your role. Unfearing, don't be afraid to take risks. If there's no trust in your teammates and those that you have in the greater, forget about it. You know, you have to be focused, especially now. You have to be so focused on what you're doing. You're rolling pretty good here, JB. Keep them coming, baby. And with that, you've got to be, we get those delays, everyone. You have to be unified. There you go. I mean, that was in there before we even do a perseverance. If you don't have perseverance and stick to this, you don't have it. It's never going to happen. You have to be perseverant. You be respectful of yourself and your opponent and your profession. And agility. We'll talk about agility in just a second. You've got to be able to pivot and call those audibles. And then basically, you've just got to be a team player, and it's all about teamwork and leadership. And you know, and be an invincible teammate. My wife, there's Janet right there, by the way. I did mention that she was on the USA World Gymnastics team, and right over there, that's the jersey that she wore back when when our team went to Munich. So Janet was injured for that event, but that was the jersey she was wearing. So here we go now. We're going to be wrapping this up in a second. This is one of the next to last slides that we have. Just make sure that the people around you know you care. That's how you become a great teammate. Don't forget about fundamentals, because right now, as we know, there's so much that's going on, but still fundamentals are really the key. As you know, because you're members of the greater, and you know, relationships and rapport are so essential. And even if they're competitors, you know, you can talk to each other and sort of figure out how you can attack a certain issue or problem or competition that's going on out there. Hey, what's your role? Have you defined your role, not only within the chamber, but also with what you're doing at work? And are you playing your role out with passion? Do you have a good attitude? Do you give it everything you have? It takes no talent whatsoever to have great effort and to have great attitude. You know, who do you play for? Do you play for the teammate next to you, or do you just play for yourself? I like to think, like my son there, Vinny, you see that? That's a jersey. He played for Team USA when he was in high school, and they gave him a placard, and they say, who do you play for? And then they left it blank, and he filled it out. I played for the guy next to me. They just busted me up. I didn't give him that one. He said, I played for the guy. Who do you play for? Do you play for the teammate next to you? And hustle, you know, effort, make second effort, third, fourth, fifth, 10th effort a part of your personality. And then respect your profession and respect your opponent. Just, you know what, right now, we need to respect everybody. And when we do that, regardless of anything, however they identify themselves and define themselves, just respect, and we're going to be a better place to be. And when we put all these things together, and Janet as the coach and me as the coach, you win the day, and you become invincible. And that's what it's all about. And then here's the final thing, you know, it's this thing I call, and it's the pivot, and it's the agility aspect of things. It's called analyze, adapt, and achieve. If you saw the movie, I had this guy come up to me. I know that'll slide down. We have so many participants here. It's slowing things up, which is great by me. If you saw the movie, right at the end of the movie, there was this play where I made this hit on this guy, and you know, went out and scored a touchdown and got invited to my team party, and finally got accepted by my team when they all thought I was a knucklehead. No pun intended with Read the Knuckles, but that's what they thought. So this analyze, adapt, and achieve thing is something that you could use in your business environment. And it's as simple as that. And I'm using this as the movie and the sports metaphor. In that scene, you know, there's these guys that are over top of me, and they're saying all kinds of things that are going to drive me back into the punter. But because I was told by the guy to my right, my buddy Danny Franks, who I wrote the book with, by the way, The Last Laugh, and there's a picture that's in the Hall of Fame that was right after this play that I had made. He says, you got to learn to read their knuckles. You can see if their weight's coming forward, and if their weight's coming forward, they're going to be driving to you. And you could see if the weight's going to be back, and they're just going to sit back. And when I saw that, when they were talking all kinds of trash and their weight was going to be there, I could see from their hands and the pressure on their hands that they were going to be sitting back and not expecting me to go downfield because we're by the goal line. We're backed up to the goal line. That's when I decided, that was my first analyzation. Weight back, I'm going to go. So the adapt part is the agility. They call it pivot right now. In football, we call it an audible. I said, check zero. And because I trust my teammates and my teammates trusted me, they all slid to the right and covered my side so I could duck underneath the guy and get the play made. And that's the achieve part. Analyze, adapt, and achieve. So here we are in the environment that we're in right now. Everything has changed, and you've got to come up with new, fresher game plans. And every day you have to adapt to it to get it done, to win the day. It's as simple as that. And when you do, you fulfill that great potential you have within you, that greatness within you to be something, to be something. And you know what? The one way to help other people reach their full potential, by the way, catch them doing something right. You know, Coach Ramil said potential was a great waste. So here it is, you know, just have your game plan, know what your opponent is, and be the best you can be, and hold fast to dreams. As Langston Hughes said, for if dreams die, life is like a broken winged bird that cannot fly. At the end of the movie, by the way, they took a shot on the sideline. In real life, they took a shot at the sideline after that play. And those two guys that are on the, that you see there, that's Danny and that's Danny and me back in 1976, 1977. And that's how the book Last Laugh came up, because we got the last laugh. And that book, that picture right now is in Canton, Ohio, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So with that, I'd like to thank you, Mark, and the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce All-Pro membership. When you work hard, have strong leadership, and you play together, you are an invincible team. So that's it from the East Coast to the West Coast. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be a part of you just for a few minutes. And this is so great. And continue the great things that you do with the High Desert, Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much. Thanks, Mark. You're invincible,
hey,
man. I appreciate
Vince,
it.
That was holy moly, goosebumps, tears in my eyes. I'm inspired. Thank you so much for being here this morning. What a wonderful way for the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce, our newly formed organization, leading off 2021. And you know, we do this thing at the very end where we unmute everybody. Everybody says their goodbyes. Hopefully you'll hang out for just a few more minutes so we can
I'll hang in with you.
applause
Absolutely.
that you deserve for being here this morning. And JB, what can I say? You're probably gonna be happy that you'll be getting less texts and phone calls and emails from me with the follow-up questions. But what can I say? It was terrific. And thank you for helping bring Vince with us this morning here in the High Desert with the Greater High Desert Chamber. And JB, what else is Elite Pro Speakers and Peak Seminars up to in 2021?
Hey, thank you, and you're welcome. Vince, you're awesome, man. I tell you,
Thanks, brother.
You're welcome.
You're a great teammate, JB. Thank you.
Our pleasure, buddy. Our pleasure. Go win the day is right, babe. Hey, everybody is wanting great inspiration like this in private meetings, Mark. So we're doing a lot of that. I put it in the chat for how to get a hold of us. And if this recording's going out or anything like that, but it's 888-894-2929, JB at Peak Seminars, PEAK seminars.com, and also Gary C at Elite Pro Speakers. I'll make sure this goes in the chat and the comments. Did you see some of this out there, Mark? They said the best chamber meeting ever. This has just been awesome. You knocked it out of the park, man. This was just
Thank
great.
you for all your help, sir.
Hey, you're welcome. So help us help your group. If you have a team of 10, 20 or more, we'll be able to do some great meetings together. And if you'd like, we can help get Vince in with your private group, but reach out to us. We can't help unless we know. So please do that. And thanks again. All the continued blessings out there, 2021 and beyond, all the great things go to those that keep on keeping on. And I'm thankful for this opportunity, Mr. Creffield. And thank you, Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. I appreciate it. Back to you. And let us know if we can help anything out there to help the attitude, the productivity, et cetera, for any group. So thank you, sir.
You bet. Thank you again. Boy, I'm glad I typed up some notes because I'm having a hard time with my words this morning. But few chamber updates that I wanted to do on behalf of the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. First off, our first coffee break update will be on Friday, January 15th, a week from this Friday at 9 a.m. via Zoom. You will all begin receiving email reminders to sign up next week. If you're interested in sponsoring this event, we have sponsorship opportunities available for only $75. You can email me or put your business in the chat and I will follow back up with you. Our next Valley Morning Insight will be on Wednesday, February 3rd And this will be the first of several state of events throughout the year. The first up will be the State of the City for the city of Victorville. There will also be sponsorship opportunities available for that. That will be emailed out to everybody. I want to wrap this up. I want to thank our MC, Chris Nunez. As usual, Chris, you hit it out of the park. Presenting sponsors, Desert Valley Hospital, Desert Valley Medical Group, Pacific Refrigerator Company. Again, a special thank you to John, JB, Bud again, and of course, our special guest speaker, Vince Papale. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. If we can stop the PowerPoint, I'm going to go ahead and allow everyone and unmute themselves, and let's give Vince Papale a Greater High Desert. Thank you very much. Everybody unmute yourself.
Thank you, Vince.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
so much. Great meeting. Great
hiring.
Inspired.
Love it.
We'll see you all real soon.
Thank you,
all right?
everyone.
Thank you very much.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great day.
21, bring it on. Woohoo!
Thank you, Vince.
It's our year, everybody.
Miss you.
Amen to that.
All right, signing